Hello everybody, my name is Edson and welcome back to a brand new E3 video. This one's a little bit late, I'm sorry. It's my final roundup. This is the Ubisoft roundup that happened a few days ago now. This is the fourth and final of my E3 roundups. We did the EA, the Microsoft / Xbox and the Bethesda roundup. And today, like I said, we're doing the Ubisoft one. I think I'm going to upload a video talking about sort of my personal top 10, like the games that I was super interested in, like the ones that I really liked, the look of from E3 and all of that good stuff. But apart from that, I think this will be my final video for E3 this year. But that video, expect it over the weekend, most likely. Maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. But nevertheless, let's get into the Ubisoft roundup. They started off the conference talking actually showcasing a Symphony, an Assassin's Creed Orchestra Symphony, which announced its worldwide tour, which was pretty cool. Normally they open up with some Just Dance type stuff, so it was a nice change of pace to have a bit of an Assassin's Creed Symphony there, which was really cool. Following that, they moved on to the first of the big announcements. They were rumoured to make 3 or 4 AAA title announcements, which I actually spoke about during my Ubisoft pre-E3 coverage. They were rumoured by a lot of outlets. A lot of people said that they were making 3 to 4, most likely 4 new AAA title announcements. So I personally was hoping for 1 out of any, and that was Splinter Cell. Sadly, we didn't get that, but the first one we got was Watch Dogs Legion, which is based in London. My phone, can you stop buzzing? Which is based in London, and everyone has a Cockney accent, and one of the big things they had with this game was you can literally beat anyone, apparently. I don't know if I believe it or not, but apparently you can beat anyone in the game. They showed someone controlling a granny. They should, you can literally beat anyone in the game. You can recruit anyone to your team, and you can control and beat anyone. And everyone has their own personalities. So if that is true, that's such a game-breaking thing. But I just highly doubt it, you know. But the game looks fun. It looks very Watch Dogs-esque. And this is the 3rd installment. It's called Watch Dogs Legion, and it's based in London. Out March 6th, 2020. Following that, they talked about Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. Then they moved on to the Rainbow Six Siege expansions. And after all of that, they moved on to the second of the 4 big announcements, which was Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which is out October 4th. They did a big segment on this, and then they talked about Ghost Recon Delta Company as well. They also said the Breakpoint beta is going to be out on September 5th, which is obviously literally a month before. It's, 1 day short of a month before the actual launch. So it's not really a beta, it's more just like a soft launch to see how the servers handle it, I imagine. And then following that, they had the big Just Dance segment, which honestly they should have just brought out with the Assassin's Creed Symphony. Imagine that. There's an orchestra and then the Just Dance come out, start doing the floss, you know? And after the obligatory Just Dance segment, they had For Honor, Shadows of Hitokiri, I think that's how you pronounce it. Which is a For Honor DLC, which is coming out soon. And then they had the 3rd of the 4 big announcements, which was Rainbow Six Quarantine, which is a 3-player, player-verse environment, PvE co-op experience. They didn't really give too much on this. They gave you a little bit of a trailer, and they talked about reimagining how co-op experiences work, and they gave lots of cool talk. You know, the usual PR talk that makes everything sound amazing. They gave that. I don't expect to see anything until the next-gen consoles, so maybe we'll see some gameplay next E3 for this, but it sounds promising. 3-player, PvE, it just sounds fun, to be honest. Then after that, they had a Division 2 segment, and they announced all of the upcoming content, including Episode 3, which is pretty cool, and they also gave an exclusive saying that the Division movie is coming into, or is coming to fruition, and that is going to be partnered with Netflix, so it's going to be a Netflix most likely exclusive. But they announced that they wanted to do this a while ago, and they've officially announced that it's in the works now with Netflix, which is pretty goddamn cool. Any game franchise that gets a movie is a good thing in my books. Some of them haven't came to be as good as they sort of like promised or anything like that, but some of them have. Then they focused on Uplay Plus, which is their subscription service. We've got like the xCloud, we've got the Microsoft Game Pass. You've got Bethesda doing stuff. Now you've got Uplay Plus, which is a subscription service, $14.99 a month. It's going to be rolling out in 2020, and it's going to be available on Stadia, which is the Google platform. So I think it's going to be linked / partnered with them, which means maybe the Ubisoft games don't get brought to the Xbox Game Cloud. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I'm sure we'll find out more as we get closer to that date. But it's interesting. $14.99 a month. I think all Ubisoft titles are going to be included in this. It sounds like, from what they're saying, which you would expect from a $15 a month price tag, you know. Hopefully that includes all new games on release and stuff like that. I imagine it would. But yeah, that's coming out soon. There's going to be a beta for that. I think later this year. You can sign up for the beta now, I believe. But 2020 is the actual launch. No date on 2020. I imagine when the new consoles drop, so probably late 2020. Then following that, they had the fourth and final of the AAA titles that they announced, and it wasn't Splinter Cell. It was Roller Champions, which looks like a hybrid between Rocket League / Project, what's it? Something Sunrise, whatever that Xbox game was, Sunrise something. I can't remember what it's called. That launch title for the Xbox One that was like super light. You could like roller skate. I can't remember it, and shoot stuff. But it's not. It looks like Rocket League mixed with Lucio Ball from Overwatch. That's what it looks like, really. It looks fun, though, and they released like a pre-alpha beta type thing during the E3 weekend. I'm not sure if it's still going, but a lot of people were playing that. It looks pretty fun, and it looks like it's got promise, so I'm looking forward to that, to be honest. As much as I would have preferred them to show Splinter Cell. Then finally they had, from the creators of Assassin's Creed, a lot of people were thinking they were going to announce the Assassin's Creed 2020 release, which is apparently the next time that they're going to release a game set in a Viking theme or era, apparently. This was... The creators of Assassin's Creed announced Gods and Monsters, which is coming out February 25th, 2020. So that's what they've been working on. They've not just been working on Assassin's Creed, they've been working on this game as well, which looks pretty cool, to be honest. And that is essentially all that Ubisoft talked about. It was a good conference. I personally think they, quote-unquote, won E3. They had some really cool things that they announced, some good surprises. Everyone seemed pretty hype and pretty happy with everything that got announced. Obviously, people were a little bit gutted about Splinter Cell and no Assassin's Creed, and no Beyond Good and Evil 2 gameplay, which I kind of was hoping that they would give, because they haven't really shown us what this game is going to really entail. They've just given us some really hype trailers that don't really give us much in terms of gameplay / story, you know? So they didn't get any Beyond Good and Evil 2 gameplay, which I wasn't really expecting that. But Assassin's Creed, the Viking one, set for 2020, I was thinking we were going to get some of that. Same with Splinter Cell. But that just probably means that they're developing them for the next-gen consoles, which the Xbox obviously has announced for holiday 2020, which is the back end of 2020. So that means we'll have the Xbox launched or shown at next year's E3, which means if that's being shown at next year's E3, most likely Sony will show theirs and announce their console to release in the same year as well, the same time. So next year, 2020 holidays, sort of towards the back end, which means Assassin's Creed, the Viking game, or the Viking era Assassin's Creed, Splinter Cell, and any other games that have been rumoured for a while, but we just don't seem to get from E3, are probably going to get shown then, which is why I think next year's E3 is going to be such a banger, to be honest. So expect them next year, most likely, because they'll be probably launch titles, or near as damn it launch titles for the new consoles. So I'm looking forward to them, but obviously a little bit gutted that it's just that they haven't really said anything yet. I understand why, but I just would have preferred them to say, hey, Splinter Cell, it's happening, and then just thrown a logo on the screen, you know? I'd have liked that, but it is what it is. Hopefully we get it next year. If we don't, I will cry. But thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this Ubisoft Roundup, the E3 2019 Roundup. That's my final Roundup. We've had the EA, the Microsoft / Xbox, the Bethesda, and the Ubisoft one. There was other conferences. There was Square Enix, there was Nintendo, there was Devolver Digital, whatever that fucking was. And there was the other conferences that I didn't cover. in videos, but they're the ones that I'm not too concerned about themselves. These are the big four for me. Big five if Sony actually attended. There's going to be one more E3 video for me, and that's going to be my top 10 E3 games, which a personal top 10, not a top 10 of these are the 10 best games at E3. These are my favourite 10, you know. That video is going to go up either tomorrow or the day after, so this weekend at some point. So keep an eye out for that. But thank you so much for supporting me and following these videos and all of this good stuff during the E3 coverage. I always love it. It's my favourite time of year, more so than Christmas. And hopefully you guys are looking forward to all the brand new games that are coming out over the next couple of years that have been announced this past week. And rip your wallets, honestly. Thank you so much for watching. Adios. Take care.